Yar and all that business. Right. Friday, fan mail, Q&A. Ha! Murder.
You can't murder me. I'm your mother. Get up. What's wrong with you? I'll raise you better. Keeping hold of this.
Probably for the best. Those of you who haven't worked it out, this is the gnome. This is my mother. She's been visiting, she recently retired, and now she's traveling about, harassing her children mercilessly. It's been wonderful. We saw the ocean.
We did.
We ate crab.
Oh, we did.
It was delicious.
It was.
She stole some of my cheesecake.
Yeah. And I had Haagen-Dazs after that.
She didn't share.
I didn't.
She offered, but I didn't take any. All right, well, we're going to answer questions, because people have asked questions.
Okay.
Hound's Armory asks, why are you called the gnome?
Because I am.
Yeah, she is the gnome. I mean, it's like, why am I called the captain? Because I am the captain. That's just how that works. Samson7180 asks, do you have any sig figs, personal minifigures that you made? Yes, I have a number of minifigures of myself. I made a little miniature Captain Xavier. I did finally find him. He is up in the Lego room. And I've been sent a bunch. Both of me and my Nerf Captain Xavier stuff as well as Pirate Captain Xaviers. I was paid in a Lego Pirate Captain Xavier once back for a war. That was the same payment that included a penis monkey, which we no longer accept as a standard unit of currency.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
I liked your G.I. Joe Captain
Yes!
Xavier.
Yes,
That
the
was
action
cool.
figure, the first ever Captain Xavier action figure. Yeah, that was the result of the cake incident.
Yes.
Zines mods. How are the home improvements coming along, and are you going to show any of them off? Yes, I will show them off when they get done. They've been put on hold on account of the plague, because my contractor is not available, because plague. But we did get the shower finished, mostly. It's got a little bit of caulking that still needs to get done. And then we need to redo the rest of it, starting with the floor. The floor is what's holding up all the rest of the improvements, because it's going to be one solid floor from the bathroom to the bedroom to the living room into the computer room.
Sort of like the ugly carpet is now.
Yeah, that needs to go.
Ugly carpet.
It's but it starts in the bathroom, and so I can't do the rest of the rooms until I've done the bathroom. For the gnome, what do you think of my new house?
I like it. It looks like the houses you grew up in.
That's what I've said a number of times, yeah. It's an old homestead.
Old farmhouse-like thing. Kind of, you can see it was hodgepodged together, added on as children came.
Mm-hmm. The bathroom and the dining room were very definitely additions.
Yes.
And it shows. There clearly was an outhouse at some point.
I think it was in the front yard. I think that's what those beams were out front.
That very well could be. I'm considering turning the pump house into a sauna, since it already has power and water.
Great idea.
Yeah.
I will be back. Let me know when you've got it done.
Yeah, I need to get Leora up here to help me build it.
Okay.
Just need,
Let me know when you have the hot tub on the front porch.
Yes, that's also in the works. Michael Coolidge asks, who is your favorite historical pirate or sailor? For me, John Paul Jones. Followed by Drake. I always did like Drake, though I learned a lot more about Drake. He was a bit of a schmuck. Probably John Paul Jones was a bit of a schmuck. Everyone is a bit of a schmuck somewhere.
If you were, man.
Yeah, definitely. We as a gender are problematic.
You are.
Do you have any preferences? Sailors you ever liked?
Who was the guy who sailed up the St. Lawrence Seaway in the cast iron submarine?
I have no idea,
Well,
but that
that would be
sounds
mine.
terribly interesting.
Yeah, well, he's at the bottom of it, I think.
Good place for him, probably. Probably inevitable. John Paul Jones was the I have not yet begun to fight.
Oh, yes. Grandpa Fred used to quote him a lot.
Mm.
I've not yet begun to fight.
Chris McClure, for the gnome. What do you think of your son being an internet celebrity?
Well, I think it's fabulous, but I haven't gotten any residuals yet.
What?
And I'm waiting.
You got cookies.
That's true, but he limited me to 2.
She would have eaten them all. All of my almond flour cookies. Second question from the same person. And do you enjoy Lego or history as much as him?
I love history.
History's neat.
My dad had his master's in history. I think that was his first history. He volunteered for World War II, even though he was way beyond draft age. And went to Fort Benning and became a captain or whatever you become when you come out of there. And they had him teaching European history to American officers before they went overseas.
In the hopes that they wouldn't blow it all up.
Yeah, so they would understand the significance and history of sites. And then after the war was over, he got stuck in France because he refused all the medals that apparently you got to accumulate points to determine the order in which you got shipped back home. So he ended up teaching American history to French officers at the Sorbonne.
Interesting. I didn't know that second part.
Oh yes, he was there for about 2 years
I
before
recall.
he finally got to come
Finally
home.
got to come home. Well, yeah, he was offered, if I recall correctly, he was offered at least one Purple Heart just from the bruising that he got from his own rifle.
Yeah, he had vitamin K deficiency, and so he didn't clot, and so his whole right side was black.
Wasn't he left-handed?
Nope.
Yeah. He ended up he ended up infantry eventually, right?
Yes, he was infantry.
Because he was originally there to teach, but then they needed soldiers. And since he was an officer, he ended up leading infantry. And do you remember which river they were crossing? Was it the Rhine?
The Rhine.
When they crossed the Rhine, I was a lieutenant on one side of the Rhine. By the time he got to the other side of the river, he was a captain because he was now the highest ranking officer still alive. And that's how that works.
That's how it works.
So he ended up a captain under Patton and marched to Berlin on his belly.
Actually, he went all the way to the Russian front.
I did not know that either.
Yes, they did not stop at Berlin. Remember?
Patton wanted to march to Moscow. That saved a lot of trouble.
Where he fed Russian soldiers. This was my dad's story, was they went to the front lines and the Russians were there and they were trying to be friendly, you know, like they were supposed to be allies. And they were sharing their rations. Well, they gave him what they said was chocolate. And he was questioning whether it was chocolate or not because it was kind of not good. So he handed them a bar of soap because he thought they obviously needed some. And they ate it. They thought it was delicious.
Well, okay then. Well,
Yeah.
it is generally made of fat, so... Alright. Adam Fazar asks, how well do you think a blaster with an internal LiPo charger would work?
Well, I don't know anything about this.
I figured. I did throw in some questions for me. It would really depend on how you did it. I'm not sure it would work at all. You would need to have a switch that flipped between the blaster being connected to the blaster, or the battery being connected to the blaster, and a switch that then connects it to the charger. And you would need to have the balance cable plugged in, and I don't know what would happen if you drew from the battery while the balance cable was plugged into the charger. You could then, I suppose, have a switch that would connect and disconnect that, but the balance charger is going to have between 3 and 5 cables, and you would have to have each one of those disconnected, I would think. I don't know enough about the electronics to know if that would work, or if it would just blow up your LiPo. So I would not recommend it unless you can get an electrician or somebody who knows a heck of a lot more about LiPo batteries and their chargers and their charging system than I do before I would try that. Alternatively, you would just have to, have something where you can open it up and unplug the blaster and plug it into the LiPo charger and then plug the charger into the wall. You're really better off just bringing the charger with you, because I can't think of a situation where you're going to have time to plug your blaster into a wall that you wouldn't also have time to just take the battery out. I did actually try something similar to that when I was first doing modding. I had a battery that wasn't like a LiPo. It just had a plug that plugged into the back and then you plugged it into the wall. It was just a port that plugged into the battery. Unfortunately, that battery did not have near enough current, and when I tried to actually make the blaster go, the battery would shut itself off because you were overdrawing it because it had safety features. It knew more about what was going on than I did. You learn in Sometimes you get lucky and you don't burn your house down. James Powers. If given the choice between a long messer and a Katzbalger, which would you prefer?
Katzbalger.
Katzbalger? I would definitely go with the messer.
Yeah, figure.
I
That's
really
what
like.
I went with the
Yeah,
Balger.
I really like the profile of the messer. They tended to have this style of a blade, the point on the end.
Well, I like the ones you just block them over the head.
Hi. Yes. So that would be my choice. Caleb Timms. Have you ever played any Lego video games?
I tried once.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was one of the first ones that came out, and it was just you could move a Lego and build with it. I don't think it was considered a video game, but you tried to build with Legos on your computer.
That's what I had. It was one where it had most of the basic bricks. It didn't have a lot of different bricks, and you could just build what you wanted, and you could print out the instruction sheets. But I never played any like the modern video game ones because they're all kind of first-person-y or third-person-y, and they make me motion sick. So no, I haven't. Nolan Sanderson. Have you ever looked into...
Bless you. Bless you again.
Nolan Sanderson. Have you ever looked into the Warhammer 40k universe? As the gnome has discovered, I consume a genuinely ridiculous amount of Warhammer 40k lore. But I don't actually play the game. I have no interest in the game. I have never looked into how the game is played. I don't care. I just enjoy the history of it all. But there aren't any parts of like factions or armies or groups that I actually favor because it's all pretty horrible because it's 40k and it's all pretty horrible.
What's 40k?
The Warhammer stuff I was talking about with the orcs that are actually fungus.
Yeah, but what's 40k?
It takes place in the year 40,000.
Yeah,
40,000.
40,000. I might not be here.
Probably not.
Okay.
Redstone. How hard would it be to put a selector switch on a Demolisher? I assume you're wanting this Demolisher to then be select fire? And that would... There are ways to do it. You could take the internals out of a regulator, but they're not going to transfer over very well because they're very different blasters. You could take a select fire kit intended for a strife and put it in a Demolisher, and they're similar enough that it's possible, but it takes a lot of tweaking, and it's not just going to drop in. You're going to have to alter the shell, and there's going to be a lot of epoxy involved, and it can be done, though. But it would not be easy. It would be a fairly complicated process.
Don't throw that.
Take that! Ah! What?
I was going to say, don't throw that at me. You were wise.
No, I always throw it at the camera.
Okay.
It is worded weird, yes?
No. It just sounds British. Do it with a British accent.
Nathan Talisian!
Yes.
No, I told you they'd come up. Are you still regularly playing Elite Dangerous, or have you had to more highly prioritize other things since the move?
See.
Yes, that worked. I had the hardest time reading it without the British accent for some reason. It seemed strange. Anyway, I have started playing it again. So when I moved, I didn't have my computer set up, and so it was a long area where I didn't play it at all. And now I am getting a little bit more time online and playing with the crew. I don't stream it because my internet here is lousy. But if the lieutenant is on, he will stream it on Twitch. So that's that. For the gnome.
Twitch, yeah.
From the Talisians. Yay! Thank you for visiting. I know having you within hug distance is going to make Captain Chaylo very happy. We, Chaylo's fans, are all curious about you. We've only gotten to see you briefly in one video, something like 2 years ago, where you were feeding him dinner on one of his visits to you. Question for you. What is the most embarrassing story about Chaylo as a child that you are willing to tell us, his fans?
Okay, because I have absolutely no sense of boundaries.
Don't worry, I can edit this question out entirely.
Okay, so I was sitting in the front pew at church, and Chaylo was still interested in nursing. Okay, so keep in mind that I had approximately two 2-year-olds, two 2-year-olds, and I had Chaylo, and I was there by myself. Well, I didn't have enough hands for 3 children at that age, and I'm sitting there trying to keep the twins from climbing over the back of the pew, and Father Ralph, no, it was Father Ryan.
Friar Ryan.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Irish priest born on St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, Ireland.
That's about as Irish as you can get.
Yeah, and he was giving his homily, and he just kept looking at me, and he kept turning redder and redder and redder, and I'm still just messing with kids and fighting Chaylo, who's trying to apparently nurse, and I wasn't even aware of that. So when the priest gets to the end of the homily and invites everyone to come up for communion, he says, as soon as everyone gets put back together, we will... And I looked down and I was just completely unveiled.
Poor man.
Yeah.
Does sound like something I would do.
Yeah.
Dustin Bergen.
Mm-hmm.
For the captain. Is JLB the same as Leppen for bootleg?
I got another one.
I think we have another option down further. Yes, there is another one. What's the weirdest thing you ever saw Chaylo doing? Would it fall under that, or is this just more embarrassing?
This is one that's totally embarrassing you.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so... And I sat like this for the rest of the ride.
Yeah, that one's definitely getting edited out.
Oh.
There are children watching this channel. They don't need to hear this filth.
It was an innocent thing.
Dustin Bergen.
Okay.
For the captain, is JLB the same as Leppen for bootleg Lego? Yes. For the gnome, what is the story behind your son's first name?
Chaylo?
Yeah.
Well, originally it was to be spelled C-I-E-L-O, which is Italian for horizon, or where the sky meets the earth. And it was a very spiritual thing. It was a name that I really fell in love with when I was teaching preschool. There was a child there named Chaylo, and it took me forever to figure out that's what they were saying. But I liked the sound of it, and I wanted a son named Chaylo. But then his dad went and bastardized the spelling.
Yeah, they changed the spelling in the hopes that people would pronounce it right, and failed miserably. Mm-hmm. I get Shilohs, I get Shaylos, I get Chylos, I get... And then when I said that, I was like, well, how do you pronounce it? Chaylo. Oh, so just how it's spelled. Yeah. So why didn't you say it that way? When people get it wrong, I tell them not to feel bad. I had a grandmother who went to her grave having never once pronounced my name correctly.
Well, I don't think they pronounced any of you guys' names correctly. It was Eliana and Eliana and Adriana.
That's even further away.
Yeah.
Spark of Siege. I have a question. Have you seen the movie Treasure Planet? Yes. It's fabulous. Silly, and I love it. I don't know if you have it.
I'll probably have.
Probably. Cartoon version of the Treasure Island.
Okay.
Jolt King 627. For the gnome. What is the weirdest thing you have ever seen Chaylo doing?
When he was in high school, he and his younger brother started making these nature films.
Oh!
I looked out the window and I see him kicking this rubber ball at the cows and yelling "Bovie bovine."
Bovie movers. Yes. Yes. Oh, what was that character's name? I have the tapes somewhere, and I tried to get them digitalized because they're VHS, and I never did get around to getting it done. Giovanni the Safari Specialist.
Yes. That
was what, because Giovanni's my middle name, and it all happened because we got a camcorder, an old small tape one, and my brother came in and just opened up just randomly, no warning. I'm sitting there reading comic books or something, and he comes in and starts in with the. And now for Giovanni, the Safari Specialist. And I just ran with it. Yes, today we're going to be looking at... And it just got very, very silly. And if I ever find the tapes and can get them made into a digital format, they will end up on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Oh, there was...
when you pulled your baby sister out of the ice chest.
Yes.
That one was classic.
The chest had been left over from one of our medieval wars. And the food inside had gone very, very bad. And
green.
It wasn't supposed to be. The green stuff was brown. The brown stuff was green.
It was crawling.
It was crawling and it stunk.
But of all the drinks
I've ever drunk.
I'm most thankful for that
drink from Gungadin. Yes, they're gonna ask about what that was all about
yeah,
now.
well, he lifted up my head.
And he plugged me where I bled.
And he gave me half a pint of water.
Green. It was crawling and it stunk. But of all the drinks I've ever drunk.
I'm most thankful for that one.
From Gungadin. He'll be squatting on them coals, giving drinks to goddamn souls, and I'll get a swig in hell from Gungadin. Poetry. It's good stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord have mercy. Mm-hmm. Coratal Dothir Desalia. I hope.
Oh, that's a nice name.
It is.
If I have another one, I'll name him that.
Do you have any pets?
Me?
Yes. That's the question.
A cat owns me.
Yeah. Would you like to have pets? That's the next question.
I have a pet.
You have a pet.
Well, it has me.
Yeah.
I've had lots of pets in my life.
Who's your favorite?
Probably Johann. Johann Sebastian.
German Shorthair?
German short-haired pointer.
Now, was he descended from Smokey Joe?
No.
No?
No, Smokey Joe was an English pointer.
Oh. That's a fun story. Tell that story.
Smokey Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
About her father again.
Okay.
A fascinating character.
All right, he grew up on a small farm in southern Illinois, and he lived right next door to his cousin, Sam Moore, who was an international English pointer breeder and trainer. And they had a rivalry, and my dad was a good shot. So just to be ornery, Sam gave my dad a dog named Smokey, who Sam believed was gun shy. And he didn't tell Dad that the dog was gun shy. So my dad worked with the dog and trained him and took him out. And about halfway into hunting season, Sam kind of giggly asked him, "How's that dog working for you, Fred?" "Oh, great, I think I've gotten more quail than I have in any other season combined." Sam was like, "Yeah, really? Uh-huh." He goes, "Well, yeah, you want to come out with us? He's really trained up nice." So Dad took Sam out, and man, that dog would hold a point until you told him to flush. Then he would flush, and he would retrieve like crazy. And Sam's going, "But Fred, that dog's gun shy." "No, he's not. Never has been." Well, Sam offered him, this was in 1931. 1932. It was right in the middle or the beginning of the Depression. Sam offered him $500 to get the dog back. Because Dad had him trained, you could wave him over a fence, you could wave him under a fence. Everything was hand signals.
You didn't have to
Didn't
make any
have to
noise.
say a word, just...
But he wasn't gun shy. He just wouldn't let you waste his time.
Yeah, if you missed, he just did this.
I did my part.
What's wrong with you?
Good times. I don't have any pets. I wouldn't mind a shop cat, just in the event that I end up with rodents. But I haven't seen any yet because there's wild cats all over Vader.
You want Bertha?
No. No, there are plenty of feral cats. I would just need to put a water dish out and have a cat. My fantasy pets. My neighbor's singing. He likes singing. I don't know if they'll be able to hear, but we can. My fantasy pets, if I could have anything, would be a raven and a lynx. I would teach the raven to retrieve chihuahuas for the lynx to eat.
Better hope your brother didn't hear that.
If they're in Boise, they'll be fine.
Okay.
I actually have met someone who had a pet lynx. They're huge.
I know.
Their paws are that big.
So they can walk on snow.
No, yeah. They fed him roadkill because they'd gotten the lynx. It was injured, and so they'd raised it. And the local Department of Transportation, since they are the ones who clean up roadkill, would bring him the roadkill. That's what he fed his lynx. That worked out well for everyone, I think.
Especially the lynx.
Yeah. Jackalblade 9. Have your tabletop role-playing experiences been limited to Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder?
Don't look at me, I've never played them.
Well, whose D&D set was that I had as a kid?
Oh, it was fun.
Aha! The truth comes out!
But we didn't, when I played it, we didn't play it tabletop. We played it in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like Steam Tunnels? Was that you?
Yeah, that
You were in
was
on that?
us.
Aha!
Southern Illinois.
Southern Illinois, playing in the steam tunnels of the university.
Along with streaking.
Didn't the guy parachute into campus naked playing the bagpipes once?
Yes.
Yeah. Wacky fun. No, I've played GURPS, I've played a number of other systems, I have done some LARP, obviously Afterworlds qualifies. I argue that Humans vs. Zombies is a form of LARP. Well, you did actually ask tabletop. I have done more tabletop. I don't remember what all systems I've played, it's been a while now, but I've played more than that. Alistair Harrow. What would you recommend investing in if I'm planning to get into either HVZ, group play, or semi-serious PvP? Ideally sub $60, decent out of the box as modding is currently not an option. I would recommend the Magnum Super Drum, actually. It's probably the highest stock performing blaster. It'll hit 90 to 100 FPS out of the box, holds 40 rounds, is very reliable, and not too expensive. Dart Zone is really pushing the envelope on being good stock stuff. Their stock performance tends to outperform most stock Nerf blasters, and are considerably cheaper. So, I think they're coming out with a new version with a better stock on it. So, Super Drum, that's what I would recommend. Marasta, what countries have you visited? And if you had to live in another country, which one would you choose?
I've been to Canada and I have been to Mexico.
Really?
And I've been to the United States.
I've been to Canada. I've been all over the U.S. I have not been to Mexico, but I have been to Ireland, France, Monaco, and Italy. Where would you go if you had to live somewhere else?
I'd probably go to Germany.
Ireland, I think, would be high on my list.
That would be too, but I already have a smidgen of German. That I'd probably pick up the language pretty quick.
Well, they speak English in Ireland.
Well, what's the point of going there then?
Well, actually, a lot of them are starting to pick up Gaelic again, just so they can make fun of tourists.
Yeah.
Which is
genetically, that's what I am.
Is it McFatridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Forrest.
Those were Scots. No, were they? I thought they were lowland Scots.
I don't think so.
Anyway, there is Celtic blood in us.
Lots of it.
German,
Viking.
Irish, French, Norwegian.
Lots of Scandinavian.
Scandinavians. And finally, Orain Hughes. Do you like donkeys or horses better?
For what?
I have no idea. Apparently, in general. I don't like horses. One tried to murder me when I was a small child.
Yeah, I have a thing. Donkeys are stubborn and they sit down a lot and they got an obnoxious noise. I don't like their noise. I'd probably say horses just on the, but I'd want a miniature horse.
Want a little one? A little Shetland pony?
No, not a Shetland. No, I want one of those little ones, you know, you can keep in a box in your bathroom.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
That's weird.
That way I would truly feel powerful.
Like a giant.
Yeah. I could, oh, wouldn't that be fun to do in a role play? You could do that in movies. You could use them in, you know, yeah.
Take that! Ow. Missed again. Alright. Now we have loot.
Who?
And since you're here, usually I film the loot from the top down, but since you're here, I think we will film it just facing forward.
Okay.
Starting with the opening of the hat that I'm wearing. Right, we're going to do this slightly out of order for editing reasons, because I want to wear what's in this package in the opening sequence. So we're going to open it now, and then it's going to have been in the thing. Movie magic. But we have a package that has come to me from What You Want.
What do you want?
I want a pirate hat.
And you think that's what that is?
I think that's what's in here. Oh look! Notes. We love you, Cap. Hope your visit from the gnome is as amazing as advertised from Nathan, Talisian, and the wife. You'll meet them in the questions.
Okay.
Aha!
All right. It looks like your high school hat.
Yar! Alright. Now we'll pick up where we left off. See? Editing is magic. Alright. Let's open some loot. We're going to do some more magic because by the time you see this video, you will have already seen us using the contents of this package. Isn't that neat? We're going to start here. Usually I start with the letters, but I want to start with this one. Is this a note? Or is it just a mailing slip? Looks like a mailing slip. Okay. Probably enough. All right. Good. We packed the foam thing in bubble wrap, so it will not get damaged. Do the thing. It's a javelin!
Is it supposed to be continue to be wrapped in plastic?
It's duct tape, yeah, that's what's holding it together. How dare you. Wah! So this will be this was obviously part of the range day thrown weapons, which is why I've saved it till now. I actually got it like 3 weeks ago, but I knew that this would be coming up, so I saved it. That'll be fun. So, you'll have already seen that, but won't that be fun? Alright, let's open a letter. Where'd the other small letter go? There it is. Aha! We have something here from a Truman Walsh. He has then also included the 1-800 number for the Gap customer service line. I don't know why.
Is it the clothing store?
Yes, it's their customer service line. I have absolutely no idea why he would do that. Maybe there's an explanation inside. Maybe it's a meme. I don't know. Well, those are cool.
Yeah.
He's made little paper representations of 2 of my HVZ blasters. So this one is Ire, obviously. That one right there. And then this one is my Strifle Mark II, which is hanging on the wall around the corner there. That's really cool. Do we have an explanation? Aha! Knew this was coming.
Duh.
His question is just, train? So in order to get your question answered on the Q&A, you ask it as a comment in the previous Q&A video. And then I go through all the comments of the previous Q&A video, and that's where I draw the questions for the next Q&A video. But every once in a while, somebody asks in the comments of that Q&A video, how do you ask a question for the Q&A? By doing what you have to do, they just have. And so generally, I would just read their question. How do you get a question answered in Q&A? Then just stare at the camera. But I decided to be slightly more sarcastic. And I said, you write your question on the back of a crisp $1 bill and mail it to my P.O. box. And somebody pointed out, you realize people are going to start doing that. And I'm like, I do. And that's hilarious. I will keep them. So, like, you should get people to send you a question on the dollar of whatever their currency is. So if, like, people from Europe could mail me €1, thing. And I thought that would be hilarious, and I didn't think anyone would actually do it. But here we have the first question written on a dollar, and it's just, train? There isn't currently a train going by. There will be.
It seems they all go through between 5 and 6.
Probably. Which is usually when I'm filming, so.
Yeah, it was constant trains last night from 5 to 6.
Alright, here we go. Dear Captain Xavier, here is an artist rendition of Ire and the Strifle Mark II for Mini Captain. Oh yeah, Mini Captain doesn't have any weapons. Let's get to the right scale. They are indeed. Now he's armed to the teeth. Oh no, this one will...
He'll shoot himself.
A fan sent me this. I sneak it into the videos and people have to try to find him. I usually forget. Where was I? I wish I could have laminated them, however, I am not able to. Regardless, I hope the Mini Captain enjoys them. Finally, a $1 bill with a question. The question. Bangarang, auxiliary zombie, already dead. Well, that is fantastic.
Yes.
Well, I love my fans because of stuff like this. Alright, I will laminate these, and I will add them to Mini Captain Xavier. And you will see him in the distance, in videos, and sometimes right up front, whenever I remember. Somebody made an entire mini version of the local crew, and the plan is to mail them around the world. So they can have adventures while the plague is going, and people can do stuff with them and send pictures and video and then send them on to the next person and so on and so forth. And I need to get around to finishing that. I'm sorry, Miss McPherson. I promise it will happen.
I'll make him.
I've been ratted out. Alright. Now, next. We have something here from Al Jerkin. No, there are special things in here. I don't want you cutting them.
I am a professional cutter.
Does this look like a quilt to you?
I could make it into one.
Come on. Now.
See, I need. Oh.
I have a whole bunch of patches and patches. Al the Geek patches.
I thought it was for your brother.
Nope.
Could be. Alive.
Are these, oh, no, these are business cards. Cool. For anybody who is unaware of who Al the Geek is, you have clearly not been paying attention to any of the Nerf Facebook groups. He does some of the most beautiful custom Nerf blasters. The one reason you might not have heard of him is because the vast majority of his blasters are very realistic looking in the paint job. So they're for like cosplay or for sci-fi stuff. They're not ones that you would generally take to a public park because they're a little too real looking, but they are also always very over the top and sci-fi looking. So he's avoided the vast majority of the anger and whatnot that people tend to fling at anyone who paints a Nerf blaster realistically because they're so gorgeous and so over the top, and they're very obviously not meant for use in public events, and they're absolutely beautiful work. So I'll probably have a link to his stuff. If he has stuff down in the description, you should definitely check it out. It's gorgeous. And now he has patches. He's got merch. I still don't have stickers. I have patches though. I do finally have patches.
Who's mine?
You want a patch?
Well, of course I want a patch. Thanks.
There you go. All right.
Wear it with pride.
All right. Which one should we open next?
This one.
This one. What do we have? Bubbles. That's for you. That one's for you.
This one will go.
There you go. One more.
Got it. Got it. All right. I'll show you I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I killed it. Murder.
Murder. All right. It says pull. Or not.
I pulled.
She pulled. All right. There we go. Train. big one.
I think it's off the track.
More Nerf throwing weapons for you, Captain. Sincerely, Dustin Bergen. He asked a question. I think I've got another package. He sent me a list. Dustin Bergen, aka General Ace. Good day. What do we got? Ah ha ha! Some of the Zombie Strike throw weapons, which we will use in the video that you have already seen. This one's dynamite in a football. Yeah. Dynamite in a football. Put off.
It's a put off. We're all there.
All right. Now we have 2 items to use in our throwing weapons. Still a little one. Huh. This one comes to me from Australia. What we have in here, is there a note? There's kind of a note. Okay. Blaster Mods, thank you for ordering. We hope you enjoy it. I'll have the links to all of this. It is a cylinder upgrade kit for the Nerf Ultra 2. So the Ultra 2 is a new blaster that recently came out, and it doesn't use regular darts. They have the special kinds of new darts that came out with, which means it doesn't work with anything else, and the Nerf hobby was very annoyed by this. So we 3D printed our own cylinders to change the blaster so it does use regular darts, because that's why. And he did one in orange and one in black and printed them opposite of each other, so there'll be a right-handed one and a left-handed one. One will be orange and black, the other will be black and orange, and it'll be really, really cool.
Yep.
And I've got the full kit. I will do a full review video on it. He made panels that go on the side that have their names and Elder Futhark and flywheel cage to upgrade that, and handle caps, and yep, all sorts of really, really cool stuff. This was for someone, I think this was for Jose Luchathor, another local Nerfer crew member. Very, very cool. I will have a video on that soon. I'm actually going to have to go buy another Ultra 2 because I have 3 kits now and only 2 blasters. It's tragic. But look forward for that. That is super, super awesome. Alright. Let's do another little one. Have another little one. This one is from Singapore. And it's another 3D printed kit. Look how fancy that is. Oh, it's a scar barrel. I did not realize that.
What's a scar barrel?
Rifling for Nerf.
Ah.
So we use fishing line to create rifling, so it doesn't actually cut the darts and it'll make them spin, which makes them more accurate. So this is another kit. This is a kit for a knockout, I believe. Yeah. I think. I hope. Where does that go? I will figure it out. This one is from Xavier.Nerf. He also sends me just the coolest stuff. I love his work. So yeah. 3D printed kits that I need to do builds on. I know I haven't been doing build videos in a while, and now I have stuff to do builds on, so that'll be lovely. Let's go with that one, because that one apparently got opened by Homeland Security.
Oh yeah, because it's heavy.
It's heavy, and it feels like liquid. I don't remember where it came from.
And postage was due.
Postage was due because it was heavier than they thought. It's only coming from North Carolina, though, from a Stephen Gunta. Apparently it was heavier than he thought, and so there was some postage due, but it's not like I can really complain too much given that he's sending me stuff for free.
Yeah.
Oh look! Oh no. Media Mail Service Inspection Slip. It's not exactly a note. This package was mailed to you at media mail price in accordance to the standards in the Domestic Mail Manual, the DMM. Media mail packages are subject to inspection by the Postal Service to ensure compliance with the standards for mailing at media mail prices. This package was opened, inspected, and resealed by an employee at the post office as indicated on the round stamp below.
Can you show them the stamp?
No.
It's a round stamp and it's red and it's a circle inside of a circle. There, see, that's just simpler.
Yeah. Contents did not qualify for mail media price unless the postage, but it's here, and that's what really matters.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Dear Captain, greetings. I have been a fan for a while now, and I finally found something suitable to send you for fan mail. So, I've sent you a thing. I will not be explaining it in the letter because I believe you can figure it out. If you need help, there is a video on this blaster on my YouTube channel, Hound Armory. And he asked a question too. Link in the description below. The bottle cap on the back comes from a bottle of A&W that was drunk to your health during the plague. That's neat. Don't worry, it has been sanitized before it was sent. I hope you enjoy the blaster. Also included are some cheer wine. This is one of my favorite sodas that you can only really get here in North Carolina, so I thought I would share. I hope you find it tasty. Thanks for everything you do. Bangarang, Stephen Gunter, Hound Armories. P.S. I hope there are no trains, but if there are, how very dare they? Alright, well let's see what we have in here.
They don't have much choice, you know.
What?
Trains. They just have this track they have to follow.
Cheer wine.
Is it alcoholic?
I doubt it. Pretty sure it's a soda. Yeah. Best when cold.
Well, put it in the fridge.
Yeah, we will have to save that for later. And then I've been sent this blaster. In my colors.
And
There's the bottle cap. That was drunk.
And you're on.
Oh! It allows you to breech load. That is really cool. That's brilliant. He took the handguard off. I wonder why is it rattling? What is going on? Is there a reason for the rattle? I'm curious. I like that paint job because it matches my stuff. Very cool. I really like the bottle cap. That is a classy thing. Very, very cool, sir. I will put the link in the description so that people can check it out, and I will check it out so that I can figure out what on earth is going on. I like his logo. It's got the auxiliary symbol in there with the wolf head. Very cool. And I shall definitely try some cheer wine later. I'll let you know what I think.
After it's been refrigerated.
Yes, after it's been refrigerated. It is warm here. Alright, let's go with this one. Ugh. Be careful when cutting open box. Well, alright then. Read this side. This is from Dustin Bergen again. Sent me a lot of stuff. Be careful. I will be careful. Oh, yeah. The note's right on the top. Read before looting. General Ace.
Oh, it's another $1. That covers the shipping.
Does your Saber Forge lightsaber have sounds as well as lights? Have you ever dueled with it? It does not have sound. It only has lights. And it currently has no charge. I do have the charging cable for it, but I haven't plugged it in a while, so it doesn't currently turn on. And, no, I don't think I have properly dueled with it. I was plague. Now I have two. This is going to become a thing. Dearest Captain X, first off, I hope this letter and package find you on a good day. It's a gorgeous day. And good health while I'm not dead. So. I hope all is going well for you. I hope you still have a steady supply of root beer as well as Skittles or Gummies. I recently opened a cabinet and found the 20 pounds of Gummies and Skittles that I had from before. So I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, don't send him any more for a while.
Root beer, on the other hand, you can go ahead and send me more root beer. Especially interesting, weird root beers from far-off places. Or Sprecher. Second, I want to thank you for the advice you gave me about my cosplay idea, the War Machine suit. I like your idea about wiring the blasters to buttons near my hands. It's a much simpler idea than what I initially thought, so thanks for the input. Third, I want to discuss what is in the box that came with this letter. Now, for watching previous fan mail videos, I'm willing to bet that you'll dig through the box before reading what's in the box. That's perfectly fine. I ask is that you do use the following list to ensure all the intended items are there and accounted for. 2 blasters that I thrifted and for Can It Take a K-26 in mind, a battery-powered disc shooter with ammunition, and finally a Nerf Nano Fire. A what? Which I bought a while back but did not need. I figured you could find a better use for it than I could. Lastly, I'd like to say there is a crisp $1 bill with 2 questions on it instead of 1. If you could answer those, I would greatly appreciate it. If you cannot read the questions, I will write them on the back side of the letter for you. Well, we already answered them, so...
I think you should only answer one of them in all fairness.
Why? Because there's only $1?
Because there's only $1.
Aha! An excellent point. I shall have to edit out one of the questions. I will conclude by saying that I look forward to your new content. I'm looking forward to meeting you and visiting the Makerspace in the future. In the near future, if the plague ends soon enough. That's dubious. Bangarang! Dustin Bergen, a.k.a. General Ace. P.S. If you had noticed on the front of the envelope, I put this symbol in the corner. This is my personal insignia, so if you could see this symbol in the future, most likely the letter or package came from me.
That's pretty. Can I use it in the quilt?
That does look like a very good quilting pattern.
It does. See, it's all half triangles.
Yeah, yeah.
You could do that.
Neat. All right. Let's see what's in the pack. All right, we have the disc shooting thing.
I remember we had one of those.
Yeah.
It didn't have different colors, it just had orange ones.
All right. Made in China. What else do we have? Look. Oh, a Tech 5. I don't know that I've done a Tech 5. I'll have to check. Sounds angry. Aha! Alright. New Island. Big League New Island. Well, we will definitely have to see if it can indeed take a K-26. Bunch of darts. Old darts. Elites. Streamlines. Oh, the Nano Fire. Good Lord! That was way more power than I expected it to. Neat. Noisy cricket. Very cool. They shall show up again. Alright! We have one more package for now. This is actually being filmed on the Tuesday before the usual fan mail, so it's entirely possible that more will show up and I will splice them in. This comes to us, it just says LR. Hey, you hit my koala. What did he ever do?
Pooped on me.
Probably. Vicious drop bears. I have been sent happiness, Mother.
Yes.
This is coming to me from Halt Striker. Halt Striker has sent me another box of happiness. How dare you, sir? How? He sent me Lego. Very, very cool. That's the speeder from The Last Jedi. Very cool. He has also sent a roadster, a hot rod, with a lady mechanic. Lego's been doing good about that sort of stuff. I appreciate it. And finally, he sent me a space station.
Ooh.
That is big. Just says building toy. From the Ideas line, the International Space Station. Check that out.
You gotta be 16 plus to do that.
Well, I am, Mother. 37.
Oh, okay. So the other one is 8, so you'd have to be at least 24.
You
could do both of them.
24. No, I'm still good.
Yeah?
Yeah, altogether that's only 32. So if we add them all together, I'm still old enough to play with the Lego.
Fine.
It's good. As expected, there were several additional package that arrived after the Gnome and I filmed, since we filmed them on a Tuesday, and these actually go out on Friday, so now it's Thursday, and I checked my P.O. box, and there was stuff. So, we're going to start with the little one, as per spec. And it's a thing. Don't know. More hats, because hats. Bangarang from Nathan Talisian and wife. Well, it would appear to be some sort of a piratey thing. What precisely is it? I'm still not sure. It appears, I think it's supposed to be a skull cap, but it's a really weird one. That's weird. That's weird. Look. It's like a hairnet, a pirate hairnet. But it does feel very comfortable. I have my doubts about this thing. It is good for that, though. So, I like it. Oh, I think I figured it out. Better? Better? Now it's coming in my ears. Keep my ears warm. No? Not so much? Work with me. Camera's kind of goofy. Yar. It's very nice fabric. It wicks the sweat away. Lovely. Lovely. Well, that shall get worn. Probably in the next Q&A, because feeling all piratey. Alright, the final package is another package from the McPhersons that sounds suspiciously like happiness. Good Lord, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Alright, well apparently this is the thing now. What did your version of the Jolly Roger look like in Adria? Alex McPherson. The cruise, my official Jolly Roger, I actually used Emmanuel Wayne's, which was the skull with the bones behind it, and then the hourglass below it, which is where the crew then got the hourglass. Our full flag, we just use Emmanuel Wayne's flag, but it was a lot easier to just do the hourglass. So that became our badge, our easier one that we could just put on our gear and on our tabards and on our shields and all of that. So yeah, that is what we used. Now look, a note. Oh, there's stuff. More stuff. Awesome. Greetings, Captain. I hope this letter finds you and your mother well. She was well. She has gone home. This package was ever so slightly late to be here in time for her. But she's in excellent health. Remember when I told you that my wife cranks out projects to 11? Yeah, well, just remember you were forewarned. Enclosed, you will find the remaining crew that wanted to be in the Little Cap project, and of course, some happiness and rations. That was all that was going to be in here. However, Melissa realized that if you mail little crew all over the place, you won't have any little crew left at the makerspace. So she wanted to rectify that, and she created tiny crew, and of course, they're modular and have multiple display options included. After watching in horror as you shot little Judd, she wanted to make sure that you could display them any way you wanted. She also added a few extra little cap project sheets for extra crew members along with tiny crew accessories. Stay safe during the plague. Bangarang, the McPherson family. This has gotten fabulous. Yes, yes. Oh, I like that one. That's still one of my favorite pictures, even though it's the pre-updates tier. I always really like that picture. Luchathor took that picture and it's gorgeous. Aha! Astrid! The quartermaster of the crew, and the lieutenant. Excellent. Excellent. Now we have more veteran crew as opposed to just the new crew. Ooh, a sneak charmer. A sneak. Sneak. Oh, there is nothing but good stuff in here. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Little cap instruction sheets. Oh, excellent. That's what you meant. Okay, yep, and extra Velcro-y stuff. Orange bases for tiny crew, black bases for tiny crew. Bottle caps! Sweet! I love the Ripper bottle caps. Oh, there's a... Ooh, very cool, very cool. Skiapons. A satyr! Or a fawn. Pan, whatever you want to call him. Goat boy. Sweet! Skittles. Dark side Skittles. What is... Oh, Midnight Lime! Lime! Alright, let's look at the tiny one. Apparently... Alright. All the same... Yep. Oh, and even tiny Judd. But now, bases. So do they go like that? I mean, that'll work. Is there a mission here? Oh, I see. I see. Aha! Brilliant! Now I can stand them up and murder them. It's really clever. Look at that. You people are entirely too cool. You know that? Too cool. Alright. That is awesome. Alright. I want to know what's in the bag. So I'm gonna open it. Who did we get? Who did we get? We got a javelin thrower. Sweet. Oh, and a discus. That was just an athlete in general. She has 2 medals. She's got an angry, sweaty face and a happy I won face. Very cool. Yeah. Javelin. I assume that's meant to be a discus. Check it out. I don't think I had any white spears, so that's pretty cool. And you get a spare medal. She double medaled. She medaled in both. Ah, meddling. Those are cool, those are cool. Alright. This will get built on my Lego channel. These I'll go ahead and toss together. He's got proper goat legs. That is pretty cool. And horns. And a snake charmer. There he is. Alright. As always, this is super cool. This trend is silly and I love it. I'm going to have to display them somewhere. And yeah, now that we've got all of these, I will get in contact with Mrs. McPherson and we will work out the details so that these can start getting shipped out. We actually are going to have a form that you fill out, and it'll be organized based on location, so certain ones will get sent to certain parts of the US, others are going to be sent overseas. And yeah, it's gonna be a real fun project, I'm hoping. Give us some fun times during this plague. Alright, this video is already ridiculously long, as all of these seem to be, because you people send me so many awesome things and ask such cool questions. Remember, if you want to have your question answered, you can either write it on the back of a crisp $1 bill or whatever your lowest denomination of currency is and mail it to my P.O. Box, which is down in the description, or you can just ask your question in the comments section of this video and I will pull questions from it for the next video. If you want to mail me stuff, mailing address, like I said, is down in the description. Feel free. I love getting stuff. It never amazes me what you guys decide to send me. It's just so much cool and amazing stuff. But as always, thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. Alright, we're gonna go fling foam at my target range now. It should be fun. Hi! What you murder you.
Murder your mother?
Murder!
There's rules against that. Oh, sorry guys. I guess I'll have to take over now. I just killed the captain. Ha! Murder. Come back. Come back. Come. Hey, you got snaps. Here, let's pin his hat up. He'll think he's silly and won't like it. That'll bring him back. Hey, Captain. Somebody pinned your hat.
How very dare you?
It was easy.
Alright, off we go. Run for it! One last addendum. I wanted to show this up close since you couldn't really see it in earlier, but I mean, look, that's a beautiful paint job. It's inline clip, rear load, very cool, works beautifully. I need to figure out what's that rattly bit in there. I don't think it's necessary. Hopefully I can just remove it. I will find out when I pop it open. And then I also wanted to show off Al the Geek's. It's windy and the trees are scraping my wall. Al the Geek's patch, because it is super cool, and Al the Geek does gorgeous, gorgeous work. Check him out. Links below, as I said. Hopefully I will remember all of the links that I'm supposed to. I won't, but hopefully I will. Alright. Thank you for watching.